us some perspective how this storm compares to other hurricanes that we've seen in the past.
Well, it's just awful for the first thing. But what you always look at, Scott, this is the eye, okay? This is the eye of the hurricane, and we're looking at that right now. We're going to show you that in a moment. If you go 60 miles outside of the eye, that's where you can have hurricane force winds, okay? So right now it's 35 miles off the coast of Melbourne, the eye, which means 25 miles in, we still have hurricane force winds. 25 miles off the Florida coast is a lot of territory.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be watching. Let's go right to the radar, and I'll show you what I mean. This is a very defined eye. Good news is that this has been downgraded to a Category 3 hurricane. The bad news is that means almost nothing. It really doesn't, because this is such a strong storm. So here's the eye, here's Palm Bay, and here's Orlando. This is going to move along the coast. The closer it gets, for instance, right here along I-95, you have Cocoa Beach, Titusville. Look how close this eye is going to rub to that. So we're expecting damage. We've already seen damage this morning from this storm up towards Titusville and towards Daytona Beach, and this storm isn't even close to that yet with these hurricane warnings established. Now, let's show you what things look like as far as tracking this storm. Series of hurricane warnings continue along the Florida coast, and it's currently a Category 3 hurricane. At one point, it was a 4. By this morning at 8 o'clock, it'll be rubbing right close, very close to Cocoa Beach and then up towards Daytona. Many Hoosiers are familiar with that. A lot of you go on vacation there. And, of course, we have the fall break crowd. So here's Melbourne right now. And as this storm continues to move off to the east, it's going to go parallel along the coast of Florida. Now, notice, even tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, it'll still have tight 105 miles per hour winds as it goes from Savannah towards Myrtle Beach and then Charleston, and here's Raleigh. And then look what happens. It takes a turn, actually goes south, and this thing could come right back in to not only the Caribbean but Florida next week. Let's hope it doesn't happen, but certainly that is possible. So let's talk about us. Finally, and we have great weather. There's no problem here. We're already at 64. We're up to 80, the low 80s a little bit later on today. Unseasonably warm. In fact, by 1 p.m., 77. And for those of you that like this heat, I want you to enjoy it, because this is going to be the last of the 80-degree days for a while. How will that affect Operation Football? 73 at kickoff, and then temperatures will drop so much so that right around here, around 10 o'clock, you'll notice the drop as a cold front moves through. And so when the Colts play against the Bears, how about this? At 1 p.m. when the game starts, only 63 degrees. I'd say it was a good idea to open the roof. Now, the only chance we have for rain is as this front moves through tonight at about 8 o'clock, a few sprinkles. But even at that, that's a bit of a stretch to even have rain in the forecast. So I'll just say it's possible. 81 today, 50 tonight. And then Saturday, a high of 67, 43 degrees for the tailgaters, with Sunday's high 65. Then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're back into the 70s. More on Melbourne. We have much more we want to talk about Melbourne and Matthew. That's coming up in a few minutes, Scott and Julia.
All right.